Guys, happy Friday. I hope you've all had a great week. I have had a very busy one. I was in Ireland for a few days. I came back and I went to Revved festival with work, which was really tough work. I was doing a bit of makeup and just drinking a lot, and what that has caused is this. Spots. Oh god, look at them. I am very aware that this isn't a huge amount of spots, okay? I'm really aware that some people have many more spots than I do and they get them regularly, and that this is my own fault. Basically, from probably drinking too much alcohol, which has a lot of sugar in it, which your skin does not like, and also just from traveling a lot and just basically being tired. And as women, we seem to get these hormonal spots that are down here, don't we? Men tend to get them above and we tend to get them below. But my sisters have suffered from really bad acne, so has Theo as well. They've all been on Rocketeur, and I've been really lucky that I've got away with not having to do any of that. But when I do get a little bit of a breakout, no matter how big or small, it does get you a bit down, doesn't it? Because you're like, oh great, particularly if, like me, you're going to Ibiza tomorrow, or by the time you see this, I'll be there. So I wanted to do a video on how I cover spots, and I asked you guys if this video would be helpful and you all went crazy for it. I had so many messages, so this is it. Firstly, this is the way that I do it. There's loads of different techniques, so if you prefer something else, then go for that. Secondly, the best thing to do is to not cover your spot. Honestly, the last thing you really want to be doing is putting loads of makeup on, but the reality of it is that you want to cover it if you're going to work or going out or going to school or whatever, so I completely understand that. Now, let's talk about the different types of spots, because there's so many out there, isn't there? There's, you know, tiny little pimples, there's the whiteheads, there's the massive ones like the blind spots that haven't got a head and they don't know what they are and they really hurt and you're like, oh, and they're so aggressive. Oh my god, when I get one of those, it's literally like there for about a month. Feels like I've got like a volcano on my face. And you should not be squeezing any of those spots, apart from maybe the whiteheads. And if you've got a whitehead, what you can do is have a nice hot bath or shower and make sure you're cleansing your face properly, and use a flannel, and the flannel might do the job for you and kind of like break the whitehead off, and then that's it over. But if not, then you can just take a couple of bits of tissue and just squeeze it either side gently once you've come out the shower, because obviously that makes everything a little bit easier, and then release it, and then once the white bit's gone, then that's it. It's just disgusting, isn't it? But we all get them and we all want to talk about them. I'll tell you someone actually that's got a really good cheat sheet for spots is Caroline Hiron's. If you go onto her website, there's a spot cheat sheet on there with all the information, and actually that was, I think she posted that about 6 or 7 years ago, and I've always kind of got a lot of information from her when it comes to skincare, so go and check that out, because she also talks about the good acids that you can be using on your face to kind of like prevent spots or help to take them down. Things like salicylic, lactic and glycolic. Do I say that right? Yeah, glycolic, you know me and these words. Anything with those kind of acids in can be really great for preventing spots. And something I do religiously is to take an omega oil. I take a fish-based oil, take them every single day, and that really helps with your skin. I think vitamins and supplements are really important when it comes to your skin. You guys always ask me what I do for my skincare routine. I'm going to do an updated one soon, but it is down to a lot of what I put in my body. I eat really, really healthily. I exercise a lot, as you know. Yeah, I like a glass of Prosecco, absolutely, and everything in moderation as well. And I am, like I say, going to Ibiza, so seriously, it's going to be, I'm sure, actually a week of like relaxing, but also a bit of partying as well. We're actually going to Formentera, so we're not going on to the main island of Ibiza. So it's going to be a lot more chilled, but there'll definitely be some Prosecco and Aperol Spritz involved. So yeah, everything in moderation, but make sure you're looking after yourself, drinking a lot of water, etc., because that's going to help prevent you getting any breakouts. Right, we are here to talk about, though, how you cover the bloody things when they are there already. And there's a few tips that I have, and the first thing being that your brushes must be clean. I have separate brushes that I use on myself when I have a blemish, and then after I've used them, I double clean them, and then I use an alcohol spray on them. I really clean them, because the last thing you want to be doing is using something on a spot and then forgetting that you've used it on your spot, and then use it somewhere else on your face and you're getting a spot there, because it spreads. They spread, don't they? It's a nightmare. So the first thing I do is use a colour corrector under my foundation, because spots tend to be very, very red. And I'm going to crop right in here. This is love, guys. This is love. So you can see the redness here, here, and here. Can we just appreciate my new nails, by the way? Okay, so I'm actually taking, this is a Sephora Pantone colour corrector kit. This is what I use in my professional makeup kit. This kind of colour, that's the colour corrector you want. Next thing is I'm taking a eyeliner brush, actually. So a really pointy eyeliner brush. This one is by Sigma Beauty, and it is the E05. Then I just pinpoint where the spots are to start with the yellow. Oh God, there's like, do you know what these ones are from? Kissing Theo. They are, I'm not, you know, they are. Because he has a beard and it irritates me and I'm always like, oh, it's so itchy, but you know, gotta have a kiss every now and again, ain't ya? So I'm not gonna worry about all this redness here because that'll be covered with my foundation anyway, or maybe that bit. Right. Once I've done that, I take a clean, fluffy eyeshadow brush. This is the Crown Brush C512. I gently buff the colour corrector in. So remember, this is before your foundation and concealer, just to knock back the redness. So now I've done that, you can actually see that that has knocked back the redness a lot. So now I'm going to take my foundation and put that on like normal over the top. But when you get to the spots, just be really careful about not putting too much product on, and you don't want to wipe it all off. So rather than use a foundation brush, that's why I'm using my beauty blender, which you know I love anyway. It's damp and it's clean. So I'm just going to make sure that I do this kind of area last, because I don't want to be putting the beauty blender on this area here and then using it up here. So I'm going to do this entire top area. Oh, obviously dip my finger in the green colour corrector. Oh well, let's just blend that in. So I'm going to do here to here with my foundation, and then I'll come and do this section. I'm also just going to do my under eye concealer too before I move down to this area, because I want to use my beauty blender for that. So now I'm turning my beauty blender up to the bottom of it, so it's that kind of wide side. Put my foundation on. I'm just going to pat it in a little bit with my clean fingers, because I don't want too much product to take off that yellow. So now I'm just going to bounce it gently over the areas where the spots are. And just keep bouncing. And you can see actually that they're nearly covered, that redness has gone down now, but I do want to put a bit more coverage on them. So I've just cleaned the Sigma eyeliner brush that I used earlier, and now I'm taking Benefit's Boi-ing Industrial Strength Concealer. I honestly swear by this concealer for spots, for covering them. I know so many of you do too, because honestly, like so many of you messaged me about how this is your favourite Benefit product, or how it was your first Benefit product. It's so great because it's an industrial strength concealer, but it's got a lightweight finish, so it doesn't look really, really heavy or cakey on the skin, which I think is brilliant. So again, what I'm doing, I'm taking the brush that I've just cleaned and I'm going to pop it into the concealer, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the yellow, where I'm going to pinpoint those spots and then I'm going to buff it in with that eyeshadow brush again. And that is them covered. So obviously, because of the shape of a spot where you get the little bumps, you can still kind of see the little bumps, but the redness has gone, the soreness has gone. My skin looks really, really even, but it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look like I've put loads and loads of makeup on, and no one's gonna notice your spots. Seriously, they're not gonna notice them if you use this technique and cover it. And now obviously I would just go and put my normal makeup on like usual, just like this. So there you go, that is it guys, my top tips on how to cover your spots. The most important thing now would be tonight is to double cleanse my face, to make sure that my skin is really clean, to make sure that I'm not touching my face throughout the day, because it's really difficult. Sometimes I like literally, like if I feel like I've got a spot here, I'm like, Theo's just like, what are you doing? Stop licking it. which is a bit weird and gross, but I just, you know, it's just one of those things that you do. So really try not to touch the spots and make sure your hands are clean. Well, I hope these tips have helped. Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and comment below with, you know, any tips that you've got, or if you found this really useful. There's not going to be a video next week because I'm in Ibiza, but I'll be back the week after, I promise you. But for now, have a lovely, lovely week. Make sure you're following my Insta stories because I'm sure there's going to be lots of fun going on in Ibiza. Have a great weekend, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.